And then at that point, we would ask you to wrap up your comments. So at this time, I'll invite anyone that would like to speak to the board. Come on up to the podium.
Good evening. My name is Keren Prescott, and I live at 75 Farm Drive. Is that
Thank you. Welcome.
I think that's all I needed to state, right?
Yep, that's correct.
There's two things that I hopefully am able to convey in the 3 minutes. The first one is I'm glad to see that there is, I guess, the opportunity for a grant to address, though it says behavioral health, I hope that includes mental health. Those two can sometimes be interchanged, sometimes they cannot be, but I'm very concerned about the mental health of the students, specifically the Black and brown students in the schools. My daughter is 12, and tonight she came home without me having to even prompt her, took a shower, got ready for bed, made her a cup of oodles and noodles, and said that today, every day at school feels like 2 weeks. I'm exhausted, I'm going to bed. 12 years old. And when I left, she was in her bed, lights out. She's 12. She comes home every day. And so I started asking other people who attended Bennett, who worked at Bennett, is Bennett as bad as my daughter is making it seem? Because I know my daughter is very, very sensitive. And I know that she struggles with other issues. One being her father died as a result of COVID back in third grade, when she was in the fourth grade. And what I hear from students who are now in the high school, who had the similar teachers that she had, what I hear from staff who left Bennett because of issues, they said it's worse than what your daughter's describing. I don't really know how to help her. I'm going through the respectability politics and reaching out to the different departments. I'm reaching out to the assistant principals to address some of the issues. But because these are kids saying this, and because when you get in the meeting, the teachers are not going to admit what they said, it really goes nowhere. What I want to say is for parents watching, please listen and believe your children when they are coming home and talking to you about the things that are happening at school with staff. The second thing that I want to address is ongoing in the town and in the school system is the racism. What my child, again, who's very, very, very aware of just life, possibly because of who her mother is, and sorry, Jordan, but what she recognizes that when Black students play amongst themselves using terms that folks think they shouldn't use, they get a much harsher punishment than when white students and white staff do the same thing. And so right now she is coming to school every day having to see a staff member who imitated an African student's voice using some very derogatory language. And even though they were removed from the class, that staff member is still in the school. And my daughter came home and said, every time I have to see him, my skin crawls. And I was told that I was going to be interviewed about what I heard and saw, and no one has interviewed me. So I will continue to go through the proper channels and hopefully get somewhere, but I needed to make sure that it got on record. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Are there any